My name is Malik Jones, and I'm 29. Skateboarding means to me, like, it's just pretty much, oh, that's a deep question. Skateboarding to me is like a getaway. It's literally something like I could say that just motivates me to get up in the morning, really. It's just literally my life, like how you're saying, but it's like, it's a way of life, I would say. It's like I bring skateboard vibes outside of skateboarding, you know what I mean? You say what's up to one another, you're encouraging one another, and that's what skateboarding kind of made me realize about like how we could support each other and like show love. It's not about like who's better than the other. Skateboarding, it just means like family. If I had to be real, like it's just family, because every person that I met on a skateboard, we're like family. You know, every person that I interact with around the world, we become family after we meet or after we skate together. And it's like, that's what skateboarding is to me. It's just a family where we all love doing the same thing and we support each other on what we're doing. And that's like the coolest thing I think about skateboarding is like, that's what it means to me. It just means like a family. Honestly, coming from Minnesota as an African-American skateboarder, it was difficult. I had a lot of trial and errors and like just try to fit in, you know what I mean? At the time when I started skateboarding, it was considered maybe a white boy sport, or maybe Caucasian males were doing the most at the time. And coming from a place where I didn't see too many heroes, not being around like, you know what I mean? Like skateboarding also was in a different place because it wasn't as accepting as it used to be, as it is now. And, you know what I mean? Now it's like anybody can skateboard and we love that. But back then it was like, if you're not doing these tricks, you're not wearing this type of clothes, you're not cool or you're not a part of this. And I just saw all the phases, and it just really means a lot coming from Minnesota, from a small town like Lakeville, to be like a skateboarder where it was like only 2 spots. It was maybe 4 of us, 5 of us at most. And we were like, this shit is cool. Not trying to cuss, but this shit is just cool. Like, I was like, wow, skateboarding changed my life after when I met a couple kids from my school and they all skateboarded, and we met this one spot we called it the rock spot. And it's just a rock spot. And it's like you go ollie over in the gap. It got a little manual pad, a little gnarly gap, like where you go to ollie the street from the parking lot. And that just changed our lives. And then we started having video cameras. And it started like videotaping and capturing these moments. And, you know, over time, it just becomes like this thing that you guys are all doing together that nobody understands really at the moment, because I'm in Minnesota at the time. So it's like I'm getting kicked out of spots and they're like, they don't know if they should kick us out or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, are they really doing something? Or are they just, you know, because it was such a small town. We didn't have a skate park. And just coming from a place like Minnesota where like, it was not given to me. Like, it wasn't like I was just exposed to it. I had to really, really put myself out there to go get it, to like really get to a point where I live in this place called California, San Diego, dreamland of skateboarding. And it's just a crazy experience to think about, like all the, like my mom taking, like believing in me. Like my mom believed in it, where she's like, all right, I'm gonna take you to all these contests. And I started meeting all these people. And I started getting good at skating, and I started like getting better at tricks. Like I started learning tray flips. I started learning tray flip into things. I like our kick flips and stuff like that. And I'm starting to see, oh, you could get sponsored and like all these other opportunities that come with skateboarding. And it was just so cool to see it from just a pure moment, like never been around, you know, nothing, not too much out there in Minnesota for skateboarders. So it's like, I love skateboarding so much that like when it gets to winter, I'll just skate inside. Yeah. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go snowboard. I wouldn't like to play in the snow. I would just be like, okay, where can I find a dry spot for me to go skateboard, even if it's outside? You know what I mean? And it was just a cool experience to think about like how much like that community skateboarding has saved me and like helped me, because I was around a lot of other kids where at the time, it was like when I was fall in love with skateboarding, it's like, okay, kids are stealing, breaking into cars, you know, beating people up, fighting, things of that nature. And I was around that too at the same time. But skateboarding just was so addicting where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay at my house in front of the driveway and have this little rail and learn this trick and do it as many times until it doesn't feel unnatural, or until it feels normal. And that kind of took me away from a lot of negative things. A lot of people that I grew up with, some are in jail, some like are just not maybe happy with things they're doing. But skateboarding for sure gave me an outlet where I felt like I could take my anger or my love or happiness and put it towards in a positive way, I would say. And it kept me active because like it's very hard, out there in the middle of nowhere. There's not too much to do. Either do some drugs or try to do something productive with your life and like maybe do a sport. Like you said, like, those are like the only two when you're living in a small community like that where it's not as much to do or to see. And like all these phases, like me going to Dam Am to get to Dam Am, like is like, to me was unfathomable. Like I never thought that I could even get to there. Where like Dam Am is like the best in that area. Like that's the best in the Midwest, or like they do them all over, but they do them like in Chicago, New York, things like that. But it's like the best person over there is like, usually takes the gold, if you might say. And I was fortunate enough to do well. Like my first ever Dam Am, I had to thank Mini Logo. Mini Logo was my first sponsor, and they just took care of me. Made sure I had boards, make sure they could like help me out. His name was Jersey Mike. He's the guy.
Not the sandwich guy.
Not the sandwich guy. Not the sandwich guy, but Jersey Mike's is the man. Yeah. And literally my first ever Dam Am, I went straight to Tampa Am, which is like literally pinnacle, like the pinnacle. So it was just like overnight. Like 2014, like changed my whole life. It was just overnight. I'm traveling to the barracks. I made it to the barracks for the first ever, like, Balfour Barraca, and like they're flying me out. I never even knew what per diems were. I didn't like, what is per diems? Wait, you just give me money just to live? And I'm like, wow, that's so crazy. And it just changed my life after those moments. After 2014, I was like, we could do this. We could go for it. It was just cool feelings, what I mean? All across the board, winning contests, traveling, meeting people. And, what I mean? I'm just thankful that I got to experience most of that in Minnesota before I got to California. Cause now it's like, I feel like I lived two lives. Like now I feel like at this point, I'm almost on a decade of living in, California in general. And it was just like, just by the love of skateboarding, a kid from, negative to 30-degree weather, just like so motivated, wanted to skateboard. And I'm just thankful that like we're still doing it. We outside, and I had a lot of people help me out. So that's what I learned from skateboarding. You got to help other people out. So that's where we're at right now. So all newcomers, the new skaters, the new people, those are my focus now. I really care about them having a good experience and keeping them motivated. And it's just a special thing that I think is a special activity that we all love and enjoy. And you gotta stay healthy, what I mean? For sure, the body and mind, you gotta keep it sharp to keep skateboarding. So all the legendary skaters that still skateboard today, that's who motivates me, and that's what I want to do in the next couple of years, is just keep pushing it, keep it going, show that like, you can skateboard for until you're 50. Tony Hawk proved it. What I mean? Skateboarding is forever. And all those things, all those curves, all those moments, the negative to the positive, will shape you into the best person you could be. And it's just be aware, surround yourself around good people, and just have fun with it. What I mean? That's a skateboarding. What I mean? Don't take it too serious. And appreciate everybody in your circle. Everybody around you, show love to, and just be thankful for what you got. What I mean? That's what skateboarding told me, because I didn't have a lot growing up, and it was just blessings that I had, people giving me product and stuff. And like, that's what I want to do for other people, in the later years of my life, is just help out the next generation. And if you have the same goals that I had, what I mean? We think alike. I got your back. We're going to help you out and make it work out. And I think it's dope. We did an interview.